Sorry, I know this looks weird. I'm just trying to follow crypto in Singapore. Ugh, I'm actually dizzy. And you probably are as well if you're trying to make sense of what's happening in the Lion City. Is crypto good or is crypto bad? Honestly, we've had a lot of mixed signals from Singapore's authorities, and it's a big deal, really. This is one of the places that's leading the world on crypto attitudes, not just rulemaking, but in general. So the city's de facto central bank, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, has been trying to clear a few things up. We're going to tell you what those are and what it all means in just a second. We're also going to be taking a closer look in this episode at women in Web3, celebrating their contribution to blockchain and crypto. Forkast has been partnering with NEAR Foundation to list some of the most important female voices in this space. We'll be talking to the foundation's CEO about all of that in just a moment. So you may or may not have been to Singapore, but one of the city's icons is something called a merlion. It's this unusual half lion, half fish that has ultimately come to represent the nation, and in some ways it sort of also represents Singapore's attitude to crypto right now. Stay with me. Simultaneously, both these things are one thing, but also something else. Now, authorities in the city-state have been very vocal in warning retail investors against trading crypto, but at the same time, they've also been promoting Singapore as a hub for crypto innovation. Now, unsurprisingly, this is what's left some of us with our heads in a little bit of a spin, and so the Monetary Authority of Singapore has decided to try and set about addressing some of these concerns. So that's why it's just hosted a seminar called Yes to Digital Asset Innovation, No to Cryptocurrency Speculation. A catchy title, I think you'll agree. And this is what MAS boss Ravi Menon had to say.
So I can understand why there is confusion about cryptocurrencies, blockchains, and digital assets. People use these terms interchangeably. The inherent complexity of this ecosystem has made it difficult even for MAS to get its messages across. And I can tell you, it's taken weeks and months to prepare for this. It's not easy to explain this.
And it's just as hard to understand, isn't it? So let's take a stab at figuring it out with Forkast Pradipta Mukherjee, who's here for us now to help walk us through it. Pradipta, you were following this seminar. What else did Ravi have to say?
MAS had consistently been advising against retail trading of cryptocurrencies. But despite these warnings, Menon said that surveys show consumers are increasingly trading in cryptocurrencies because many are still enticed by the prospect of sharp price increases in these assets. So Menon said that MAS would add frictions on retail access to cryptocurrencies. That's an area that MAS is contemplating, and this may include customer suitability tests and restricting the use of leverage and credit facilities for cryptocurrency trading.
Yeah, it sounds like his warnings might not necessarily conflict with what the MAS sees as the potential benefits of crypto. So what's Singapore's next steps then?
MAS is going to take a four-pronged approach to building the digital asset ecosystem. First, MAS is going to explore the potential of distributed ledger technology in promising use cases. Second, MAS is going to support the tokenization of financial and real economy assets. Third, Menon said that MAS will also enable digital currency connectivity. And fourth, is going to anchor players that come with strong value propositions and risk management.
We know that there's been worries about new emerging risks, but the MAS also seems especially worried about consumer protections. Can you tell us a bit more about what that is and what's being done there?
Menon said that technology and cyber risks are continuously evolving, and MAS is examining ways to manage these and other technology and cyber risks, including what could be the further requirements to protect customers' digital assets. He cited the example of Luna and stablecoin Terra USD. Luna at one point was over $100 but tumbled to zero, right? So he's saying he emphasizes his point that it is not suitable for retail traders, but at the same time Menon said that banning retail access to cryptocurrencies may not work because cryptocurrency world is borderless. With just a mobile phone, Singaporeans have access to any number of crypto exchanges in the world, and can buy or sell any number of cryptocurrencies. So banning retail access to cryptocurrencies is not going to work.
Yeah, he also mentioned a couple of specific exercises the MAS were working on. What are those, and when can we expect more on them?
October will be a crucial month because Menon says that currently there are no international standards on the quality of reserve assets backing stablecoins, and MAS will propose consultation for a regulatory approach for stablecoins, and that's going to happen in October this year. So that's a crucial time, and October is also crucial because MAS has been sharing its concerns with the industry and inviting views on possible measures to minimize harm to consumers. And in October, MAS will publicly consult on these proposals. Honghui Yu, the founder and CEO of Tokenize Exchange, he told Forkast, the crypto industry moves so fast that frequent regulatory discussion is important to keep abreast of recent innovations. And therefore, he appreciates MAS, in fact, in initiating such discussions and for actively engaging with different industry experts to discuss better ways to drive this evolving industry forward safely and sensibly.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Pradipta. Always a pleasure. Now, Forkast is helping celebrate the contribution of women to the development of the Web 3.0 economy. Launched in partnership with the NEAR Foundation, the Women in Web3 Changemakers initiative aims to help celebrate the contribution and achievements of women in Web3. The NEAR Foundation is a non-profit organisation that supports the governance and development of the NEAR protocol, and the NEAR Foundation's CEO, Marique Flement, joins me now to tell us about this shortlist. Marique, what is special about it? What does it say about the direction that the industry is going in?
So I think what's special about the shortlist, number one, it's the first time that we're running that, at least with NEAR and Forkast.News. And what we wanted was actually to portray some of the women that are out there that often are not spoken about, are not that visible, because it's really important to show that there is actually quite a lot of inclusion and diversity in this space. And we go also with the belief that you can't be what you can't see. So, role modeling and actually portraying all the amazing work that's happening, whether it's women who are helping on leveraging Web3 for more inclusion, for more innovation. We think that's very important. So that's what's really special. And honestly, the other thing that we also found was we got hundreds of applications and possible names through, and actually finding through that the 10 most amazing profiles turns out to be quite difficult because all the submissions were really fantastic.
Your criteria for the list are inclusion, influence and innovation. Can you talk to us a little bit, Marique, about that criteria and why it's so relevant right now?
So we were actually thinking through, what are the values that at NEAR we try to drive through what we can do with leveraging Web3, but also what are the values of what the world needs right now when you look at the state we're in. And we came down to the three things that you mentioned, inclusion, influence, and innovation. So inclusion, to actually think through what are the ideas that are good for society, that create, social positive impact, and that also help move towards more sustainability. For influence, actually in today's world, it's really important to be able not only to have great ideas, but also to be able to influence through your community and through your peers. And for innovation, actually, what we found was really important is making sure that what is being driven is actually something that will really help shape forward those socially impactful projects, leveraging all the possible innovation that Web3 has at hand.
And what do you want those selected in this shortlist to ultimately take away from it?
Well, number one is actually be super proud of it, because I think, sometimes there's also a subdued element of not necessarily wanting to be on that. And we saw that through the application, right? The number of women we encourage and we say, you should be applying to that. And it's not something that's very often done. So I think number one is actually be super proud of it. And number two is use your voice to actually continue showcasing the work that you're doing and help amplify that, because that's really what the world needs right now.
And what do you hope everyone else watching this from afar will learn?
I think the message to take away here is have a sense of actually the amount of work that's going through and the thinking process and actually the activation that is going through making the world a better place, leveraging Web3 technology. I think it's actually very important to have a look not only at the winners of the of the short list, but also to have a look around you and think through, who are those women who are actually helping also move Web3 forward. Because I think very often lists are a very good point to say, oh yes, those are great role models, but actually within your network, I'm sure you know people. And so continuously encouraging those voices that are very diverse and inclusive is really important.
All right, Marique Flement, thanks so much for that. Marique Flement, CEO of the NEAR Foundation, for us there. Now, the 10 winning changemakers will be flown into NEAR's flagship annual event, NEARCon, set to take place in Lisbon from September 11th to September 14th. Forkast will be featuring the changemakers in a special series across our platform, so make sure you keep an eye on those. Otherwise, that's it from us for this episode. Like and subscribe to this video for more content like it, and let us know your thoughts on what's happening in the comments.